Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the start of my birthday weekend vlog. I'm like freaking out. Today is March 14th, so it is my official birthday. Last night we did a little birthday eve pre-celebration. We went to my favorite place ever to get dessert and drinks. It's called Better Than Sex and they have a few locations, so if you ever find yourself near one, you need to go. It is such a fun time. It's a perfect date night spot because it's very romantic, but it's also a little raunchy, so it's just so fun. I love going there. We ended up getting these like coffee drinks though, so we were up pretty late, and around 1:45 we're like debating going to bed, but we were like, we might as well just push through and stay up until 2:30 because the lunar eclipse was last night. So that's what we did. We stayed up late and watched that, and it was such a cool way to like start out my birthday really early this morning. So we didn't get much sleep. I'm a little tired, but luckily I got to sleep in some because I took the day off work. The only set plans we have today are going to dinner tonight with my mom and my brother and my husband, and I wanted to keep the day open to kind of just be spontaneous and do whatever I'm feeling in the moment. I feel like a lot of times I put so much pressure on my birthday and I have this whole itinerary, and if something goes wrong I get all upset. So this year I just wanted to do whatever I'm feeling in the moment. Last night on the way to dessert we passed this new acai bowl place and I was like, that looks so cool. I've never heard of that before. If I wake up in the morning and still want acai bowls, I want to go there for breakfast. So that's where we're gonna go first, and then I think after that we're gonna just do some book shopping. I kind of want to just bookshop hop around town. So that sounds like my ideal perfect kind of birthday. Then we'll probably just come back and chill before dinner, but the real plans start tomorrow because my birthday gift from my husband is a trip to Dollywood. If you don't know what Dollywood is, it is Dolly Parton's theme park. It's in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, so it's pretty close to me. It's like 3 hours away, but I've never been before and I've always wanted to go. I hear the best things about it. Everyone says it is so fun, and this weekend is actually the park's opening weekend for the season and the 40th anniversary. So Dolly usually is there every opening weekend, and since her husband passed recently, I thought that she probably wouldn't be there. A lot of people were like, she probably won't come, which is so understandable. That is so heartbreaking, but people posted pictures of her last night checking into one of the hotels on the property, so she is there, and I'm hoping that she's going to be there tomorrow. Usually they have a parade for her if the weather is nice, but it looks like it's supposed to rain, so I'm hoping that the weather holds out and it's nice so I can at least get a glimpse of Dolly. I feel like that would make my whole birthday weekend. That would make my whole life. I'd probably cry if I see Dolly in person. So those are the plans. We're gonna be staying the night there on the property in one of the Dolly hotels. And then before we leave on Sunday, there is this Titanic museum in Pigeon Forge that I've always wanted to go to. And I'm like, let's just hit that up on the way home because I need to go. I've heard it's so fascinating from people who have been before. There's all these like little simulations. There's one room I know where you can feel how cold the water was, which is just crazy. That just sounds so interesting to me. So we're doing that before we head home on Sunday. Those are all the plans really, but I'm so excited. I'm excited to bring you guys along with me, so I hope you enjoy watching. This is the birthday OOTD. My necklace is from Urban Outfitters. This shirt is from Altered State. My cardigan is from ASOS. My jeans are also from ASOS. And then these boots are from ASOS too. So that is the fit. I definitely want to get some kind of cute picture today when we're at one of the bookshops. We're about to head out now, so I will check in with you guys in a little bit. Okay guys, we are back from book shopping. We went to 3 different bookstores after we got breakfast, and I got 3 different books. The first book that I got is Life's Too Short by Abby Jimenez. This is her 3rd book in the Friend Zone series. I read The Friend Zone last summer and loved it. Book 2 in this series, the Happy Ever After playlist, is on my TBR for the month, so I'm hoping to get to it, and I kind of wanted to get this book to motivate me to get through it, so I'll immediately have book 3 to jump into whenever I'm ready. already. Don't really know what this one is about, but I kind of don't want to read too much into it in case it spoils anything that happens in the second book. But very excited for this one. Y'all know how much I love Abby Jimenez, so this will be the last book that I have to read from her once I finish the Happy Ever After playlist. Then as we were checking out at that bookstore, we spent over $50 because my husband got a few books for himself too. So she pointed us to this cart and she was like, you can have any book on this cart for free since you spent more than $50. So I was trying to find one, and then this one caught my eye because I saw it going around a while ago and it's been on my TBR, but I kind of forgot about it. I feel like no one's talked about it in a while, but I've still always wanted to read it. And that is Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reed. I know this one is following this white family and they have a babysitter who is a black woman, and one day the babysitter is out with one of the children and I believe she gets stopped because someone thinks that she's kidnapping this child. So I'm sure there's going to be a ton of commentary in here on race, but I've heard really great things about this one. I've heard it's just a really great story with a powerful message. So I am excited to get to this one at some point, and so happy that I got a free book out of our trip. That was so exciting. And then the second bookstore that we went to was kind of a fail. I didn't find anything, but we ended up finishing off our book shopping bonanza with a Barnes trip, and I did pick up First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. I actually tried to get this closer to its release date at the same Barnes, but they were sold out. So I was really happy they had it back in stock this time. I kind of wish I already had read it though around Valentine's Day, because I've heard it is just the perfect romance to read around that time. And as I was reading the back, the male main character's last name is Valentine, so I'm like, maybe I'll save this for next Valentine's Day. But I am excited for it. I do kind of have mixed feelings towards B.K. Borison because I loved Love Life Farms. I continued on with that series and really didn't care for the next two books. I've heard book 4 is a lot better, and I've heard rave reviews for this book so far. I know our female main character is a single mom, and I think her children end up like calling into this romance radio show, and then she ends up having a romance with the radio show host, which just sounds so fun. I feel like it's a very unique premise. I haven't really heard of a romance like that, so I do really want to read it. I'm excited to read it, but it's going to be interesting to see how I feel since I've had very mixed opinions on B.K. Borison's past books. So that is the book haul. I think we're just gonna chill out for a couple hours at home before dinner. I will catch up with you guys a little bit later. I wanted to show you all the cute card that my husband got me this morning. This is actually my cat on my laptop while I'm working. He does this all the time. So that is the perfect card for him to get me. I think it is so cute. And then my best friend sent me this Wicked card with her gift to me, which is also so cute. We both love Wicked. We talk about it all the time and we listen to the soundtrack nonstop. So this was such a fitting card for her to get me. And then she also sent me this book stamp to personalize all my books, which is just the most thoughtful, special gift. I've always wanted one of these, and it says, "This book belongs to Caroline." This is an example of what the stamp is going to look like. I love this. This is just such a great gift. Guys, look how freaking cute my new bestie is that my brother gave me for my birthday. I love him. I'm obsessed with the Hockey Puck Jellycat. He is so cute. I cannot wait to put him on my bookshelf. I also got these daffodil Legos that I cannot wait to build. I think I'm going to put these on my bookshelf too because I have a pair of bookends that are vases, and I've been trying to find the perfect flower to fill them with, and I think this will be the perfect option. I cannot wait. And then I got this cute little espresso cup with the matching saucer. I love the cherries. She's so cute. Also, throwback, got this Vera Bradley duffel. I'm bringing it back. These need to be popular again because they hold so much stuff. I'm actually going to pack my stuff for Dollywood in here. I thought we could do a little get ready with me Dollywood debrief because we had quite the day yesterday. To start, when we drove in, it was pouring rain, and we'd been checking the weather forecast all week and it just kept changing. One day it would say it was gonna be sunny for Saturday. The next it said it was gonna rain. So we were just kind of holding out hope that it was gonna be nice. But of course, as we're driving in, the first hour from like 10 to 11, it is just pouring. So I was already kind of bummed because I know that they cancel the parade and Dolly doesn't come if it is bad weather. So as we're checking in, we're kind of like debating what we should do because our hotel comes with a day pass to Dollywood, which can be used within a year time frame. So we're like hearing people talk about how the rides are down, there's thunder in the area. So we're just debating everything. We're like, should we use our pass for another day, find other stuff in Pigeon Forge to do? But we're like, let's just go. Let's try to enjoy the park as best we can. Even with the weather, it looked like it was gonna clear up later in the day. So we just made our way over there. And we have a time saver pass that's also part of our hotel package. Basically, it's like a fast pass to cut the line. So we get there and we realize there's like all these exceptions with the time saver pass. Basically, every single ride that we actually wanted to do, the time saver pass doesn't count for that ride. So we would kind of like peek in the line for a certain ride, and there's not even a time saver line for certain rides. So it was craziness. There was like all these exceptions to the time saver pass. And finally we see a ride that we both want to get on with a time saver line. So we get in the line and it's a really long line. Like I wouldn't even say it was that much of a time saver because we're waiting in line for probably 45 minutes. And then as we get close to the front, I'm just like looking at my time saver bracelet and I'm kind of like reading everything. And I realized that the ride that we just waited in line for is one of the exceptions that can't be used with the time saver pass. So I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, we just waited all this time and they're not gonna let us on this ride. I was afraid they were gonna kick us out and it was just gonna be waiting in line for nothing, and it was gonna be embarrassing too. So we're like, okay, we're just gonna get to the front and tell them like we didn't know. It was an honest mistake. We just realized that this ride doesn't count for our time saver pass. But we get up there and he scans our bracelet and it lets us go through. So we're like, okay, sweet. And my husband said once we were seated in the ride, he's like, yeah, as he scanned it, it said that there was an error with our bracelet, but he just let us on anyway. So we lucked out there. But then we end up getting in line for another ride. We double check our bracelet and we're like, okay, it says for sure that our bracelet works for this other ride. And we didn't even really necessarily want to ride it, but we just wanted to put our time saver pass to good use. And so we get in the time saver line, which isn't much of a time saver again, because we wait like 45 minutes for this ride. And as we get to the front, they make an announcement that the ride is shutting down for maintenance. So we're like, are you kidding me? So at this point in the day, it's like 5 o'clock and we have only ridden 2 rides so far. And there's one ride in particular that I really wanted to ride called the Mystery Mine. My brother loves this ride. He said it is just like our favorite ride at Universal, the Mummy. So I was like, I don't care, even though our time saver pass won't work for it, we have to wait. Like it was an hour wait. But I was like, I will be so sad if we leave the park and don't even ride the one ride I really wanted to do. So we end up waiting in line for that ride and we do get to ride it. And it was so much fun. It was like the best part of our whole day yesterday. So I'm glad we at least got to do that. So after all that, we were like, we just cannot wait to get back to the hotel and just chill. Our room was gonna be so nice, which we hadn't even seen our room yet because when we first got here, it wasn't ready. So we were so excited to come back to our room. And our room is really nice. I really like this hotel, but we decided to order room service for dinner. And they said it's gonna be like a 35-minute wait. So it was kind of weird when we ordered because we got like normal stuff, like nachos, a salad, and I got Prosecco, a glass of Prosecco. And he was really confused on the drink order. He was like, wait, what do you want? And we're like, Prosecco. And then they called us back and they're like, sorry, what drink did you want? And we're like, Prosecco. So about an hour passes and we're like, we should probably call to check on the status of our order because it's been a while. They said 35 minutes. They were kind of confused on the drink order. And when we call, they're like, oh, sorry, we had so many orders, yours got missed. So they did comp us for the food, but that was just like the final straw after everything that happened yesterday. And I think the most of it was that I was just so disappointed that Dolly wasn't there. I think I got my hopes up so much, and I was like planning in my head posting my little video of seeing Dolly at the parade and showing all my friends and getting to vlog it and telling everyone that I saw Dolly. So it was my fault. I just got my hopes up, and all the little things that happened were just like things that normally wouldn't annoy me, but it was like back-to-back things happening. So it wasn't the best experience, but I do think a big part of that was that it's opening weekend and they probably just have some kinks to work out too. So that was our day yesterday, but I'm feeling a lot better today. I feel like yesterday I was just getting more and more annoyed, so I was like attracting bad energy. And I don't like to complain at all, because I think had we been here another time, it would have been better, and the things that we were frustrated with wouldn't have even been a problem. But it was just a busy day, long lines. We did have some fun times yesterday, especially riding the Mystery Mine ride. That was my favorite part by far. And today we are about to go to the Titanic Museum, so I'm really excited for that. I did want to show y'all my little Dollywood haul. They had this candle store there with all these homemade candles, and I am obsessed with this little pink cowgirl hat candle. I'm probably not going to even burn it because it's so pretty. I just want to use it as a decoration. And then I got my best friend this little coin purse that says Dolly is my homegirl. Her birthday was last week, so I'm gonna give this to her when I see her next week for our birthday celebration. She's gonna love this. She loves Dolly, and I just thought that was so cute. And then I got this suede jacket. I thought this was so beautiful. I love the color. I love the fringe. I was trying to think of where I would wear this, because it's one of those statement pieces that I'm like, this is beautiful, but I don't have anywhere to wear it. And I remembered I'm going on a bachelorette trip to Jackson Hole, Wyoming in the summer, and it does get chilly there at night. So I feel like this will be perfect when we're like going out. There's a cowboy bar there. So excited. Hi guys, it has been a few days since we got back from Pigeon Forge, and I just wanted to chat with y'all because I didn't really get to talk much to the camera while we were there. It was very busy and chaotic, and I think the last clip I got of me talking to the camera was my post Dollywood debrief, and I feel so bad because I feel like I came off super negative and complaining, and that is never the vibe I'm trying to put out there. But it was just the craziest day, and it was like everything that could go wrong did go wrong, and in the moment we knew we were gonna look back and laugh on what was happening, but while we were there it was just like so frustrating. And I think the main problem is that it was opening weekend and it was just craziness. It was the first day it was open to the public for the season, and there's definitely a lot of kinks they had to work out, and mainly I wasn't expecting it to be as busy as it was. I had just kind of heard there's like never a wait for any of the rides, so I was not anticipating the lines being as crazy as they were and just spending so much of our day waiting. And I think the other thing too is that I got my hopes way up about seeing Dolly. Like, I was so confident that we were gonna see her. I was super delulu too. I was like, I bet Sabrina Carpenter might make a surprise appearance too, since they just did a song together. Like, my expectations needed to be managed, and I feel like it made me end up being a little bit let down, but that's completely on me. We ended up having a fun time overall and making the best of it, so I don't ever want to come off as like negative and complaining, because I feel like if we had gone at a less busy time it would have been a totally different experience. So after that we did end up going to the Titanic Museum the next day, and I didn't get to get a ton of footage in there because there's only one part of the museum where you're allowed to take pictures and stuff, but it was the coolest experience. I love the museum so much. I think I told told you guys, before you go in, they give you a passenger to be and walk through the museum, and at the end you find out if they survived or not. So I ended up being this 55-year-old French woman who was a first class passenger named Helene Baxter. I was traveling with my family. I think my son was there with me too. And then my husband ended up being a third class passenger from Syria. He was in his 20s and he was traveling to the United States for a job that he got in Ohio. And by the end, we found out both of our passengers survived, which is super cool that both of our passengers came from completely different backgrounds, different ages, different classes on the ship, and they both made it out alive. That is so incredible. And I was looking more into the passengers and their backstories and what happened after that. My passenger's son didn't survive. My husband's passenger actually has descendants still alive today in Ohio, which is just the coolest thing. So it was an extremely fascinating museum. I'm not even the kind of person where I go in a museum, I want to read every single thing. I feel like I get over that really quickly, but I was like consuming every piece of information I needed to know. It was just extremely intriguing to me and I learned so much. My favorite part, I think, which I knew beforehand going in, they would have this. It was this like climate controlled room where you can feel how cold it was the night the Titanic sunk, and you can feel the water. And just putting my hand in there, it was freezing. There was a girl next to us who was filming her friend and she was like counting how long she could keep her hand in there, and she couldn't make it past 30 seconds because it was that cold. So I can't imagine like having my full body submerged in that water. Just terrifying to think about. They also had a lot of memorabilia from the actual Titanic movie, and it was really cool to see like Kate Winslet's dress and her jacket and her life vest that she wears at the end of the movie. And they also had the actual piece of wood that she floats on at the end, the infamous piece of wood that everyone says Jack could have gotten on with her, which I can confirm after seeing it. There definitely was enough room for 2 people, but we were in such a Titanic mood that we came home and watched the movie that night once we got back. And there is a little clip that shows Jack trying to get on with Rose to the piece of wood, and it starts kind of sinking and going under, which I don't ever remember seeing that before. I feel like I was always annoyed that Rose didn't let Jack get up there with her. So I think it wouldn't have supported both of their weight. But if it was me, I feel like I would have tried to switch off. Like, okay, I'm gonna float in the water, you get on a piece of wood. Now I'm gonna switch with you, I'm gonna get on the wood and you float. I feel like that would have been more fair and given them both a better chance of survival, but it is just such an extremely fascinating and tragic piece of history. But highly recommend going to that museum if you're ever in the area. I loved it. It was such a cool experience. Also wanted to share with you guys, when we got back, I had a text from my mother-in-law. She's kind of been texting me over the past month trying to get birthday ideas for me, and I am so bad at that. Like, first off, I hate asking for things from people, like even if it's a special occasion or something. Like, I just never know what to tell people because I feel bad. So it's so hard for me to think of gift ideas to tell people. But my husband actually ended up coming up with a good idea. He said that I could use another bookcase because the one that I have that you can see behind me is my only one, and it is currently overflowing. I don't think you can tell on camera, but I have made like a second row, and the books in the second row are like falling off and I can barely even get to them. So it's just not the best setup. So I ended up finding this like skinny, tall bookcase that perfectly matches the furniture in our bedroom, and it's so cool because it rotates and it's perfect not only for holding books but also just putting little knickknacks on it like plants and jelly cats. I feel like it's going to give me a good excuse to buy more little knickknacks like that, which I love. So I asked for that. When we got back, I had a text from my mother-in-law and she's like, your gifts have arrived. And I'm like, wait, gifts? Plural? What do you mean? Like, there's more stuff than the bookcase? And she went overboard with the gift giving in the best way. I was so surprised. I'm so grateful. I'm gonna show you guys everything that she got me because it's all book related gifts. It is just so kind and like so me, everything. I love it all. So I have a little gift haul to show you guys everything she gave me. First is this sweatshirt in my favorite color. It says a bibliophobia, the fear of running out of books. It's a real thing. That is a real thing for sure. So cute. Anyone who knows me knows how much I love sweatshirts. She also got me these literary tea bags. They're called novelties, and each tea bag has a quote from a famous author, and it's either like book related or tea related. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so me. I love tea. Tea and books go hand in hand together perfectly. And then she also got me this library kit. I think it's like if you loan out your books to friends, you can give them like a little library stamp and like keep tabs on what you loan out, which is a great idea. I think that is so fun. And then I got this little gift box that I can't even close because it's overflowing with so many bookish goodies. The first one being this tote bag that says there's no such thing as too many books. Super cute. I love tote bags. I also got a pair of socks, which I'm a huge sock person as well. She also got me this candle, and I love what it says on it. It says, "Smells like she's reading again." And then I also got these little heart page markers. I've seen these everywhere, and I think they're so cute. They go like in the corner of your book to mark your page, and I got 2 different colors, which I love. I also could use it as like a marker to keep tabs on a quote if there's something and I don't want to like write in my book and annotate. I like that idea as well. I feel like these will work better with hardback books, so I'm excited to use those. And then last thing in here is this kind of mason jar style reusable cup. I'm not going to take it out of all the wrapping yet, but it says just one more chapter. And I'm just now noticing the back has these fun nutrition facts. It says serving size, 1 bookworm, spice 500%, to be read endless, caffeine overdosed, sleep NA. So cute. That is so fun. I can definitely see myself having a nice iced coffee in that cup, but I'm just obsessed. She did way too much. Gift giving is definitely her love language, and I'm very grateful to be on the receiving end of that because I love everything. It's all so thoughtful. So I think I am going to close out the video here. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me on my birthday weekend vlog. I had so much fun. I hope you guys had fun watching. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you hit the red button down below to stick around. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye guys.